So I'm really pleased to have Angela with me this morning to talk about her journey that we did together over a period of time. So welcome, Angela. Um, so just to have a think about how did we first meet? How did you find me and kind of why? What were you looking for?
So we actually first met at an event at Charing Club and we did the Sacred Rage and the
That's right.
stillness. So I met you then, and I just things that you were talking about, I just knew that there was been similarities in life and our journeys, and I just had a feeling that we were going to be connected again in other ways.
Mm.
And then obviously I've kind of following you online and following your journey, your IEMT and your Reiki and stuff like that. And I just thought, because of where I was at in my life, I just felt that I needed help. So it was just like reach out to you to see again, just because I knew that you had similar
Yeah,
experiences in life, and I was like, you'll get what I'm speaking about when we
yeah.
meet. And I know I'll be met with, I suppose, empathy and compassion, and
Hmm.
I suppose that's just what you kind of need when you're struggling a bit. So I struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, and I was like, I think Emma's the person to help me to process all this stuff.
I
So
know all the layers, we all go through them, don't we? So,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
and so we obviously did that beautiful weekend because you had the whole weekend with us,
yeah,
didn't you?
that's
Which
right.
was lovely. I loved that weekend as well. Um, and then you kind of, I know that we'd been in contact and we'd met a couple of times, and then we decided to work together over this 8 sessions. We talked about stuff. We had like a long chat. I know you came to visit me for a little bit of a natter one afternoon, and we were just like, okay, where are you at? What's going on for you? And we decided to work over these 8 sessions. How did you find that?
Um, at first, I suppose I found it quite challenging because I knew I was going to have to face a lot of things that I've been avoiding. Don't we all? Um, but I knew that I just had to do it. And then by the end, I was so glad that I had done it because it was definitely what I needed to, I suppose every session we did was different. You obviously had the chat and
Yeah,
doing the IEMT, and then there was a bit of Reiki, and we done cupping, and you gave me my individual meditations. There was just a lot of stuff, but
yeah, yeah,
everything about it was so helpful, and the fact that it was tailored to me and my
yeah,
needs and what it was that I needed. It wasn't a generic thing that you were giving to everybody. This was like for Angela and for
yeah,
Angela's journey, and that's what I found really helpful because I knew that then that, like I say, because people can work with people and they do things that are, they do the same things with people, but I knew this was me, this was my journey, this is my story. And
yeah.
you were obviously there to listen and understand, and
And it was unique to you.
that was
How,
unique. I definitely it was.
how did you find, like, because obviously, when we work over those 8 sessions, the first one's quite deep, right? Because we use some of the IEMT and we use some of this deeper questioning and actually, I suppose I offer it because it's definitely resonates with my own journey of trying to connect with those difficult emotions and release some of the stuff that stops me, connecting to them. And that's an ongoing task. It's not just, we learn how to do it ourselves. But how
Mhm.
did you find the IEMT sessions in particular, Angela?
I found them very emotional.
Mm.
Because obviously I was talking about past traumatic experiences and ruminating thought patterns that I had over the things that I'd experienced. So I did find it quite difficult to bring the memories back to my mind.
Mm.
But I did find it helpful because at the end of the sessions, I felt so much lighter and freer, and I felt as if I'd brought the emotions up to be
Mm.
released.
Yeah,
I've obviously
yeah,
been bottling them up for years and suppressing them, I suppose.
yeah.
And
And
no,
it is
actually,
it is difficult to kind of talk about, but kind of some of them were like really just, oh, I'm really feeling this and I've just got to go through it. And it was really quick. And it wasn't really, it was kind of afterwards this expression of, oh, I didn't know how deeply I felt that. And it was very much the same for me too.
mm,
Um, and so that sense of release afterwards, how did that affect your day-to-day life?
I suppose the one that comes to mind was I would never go into a place and sit and have a coffee or go into a place and eat on my own. I would never ever do that because I'd be so self-conscious or anxious or people are looking at me and all that. But after the sessions, I was going into places and just sitting down and just feeling so relaxed and confident in my own being,
Yeah.
knowing that,
Just being present with
just
yourself.
being
Yeah.
present with myself and knowing that I'm enough to be sitting here and having my coffee or having my soup in this cafe and I'm here myself and people are looking at me, but they're looking at me and saying hello. Like, whereas before you would have that anxious thought of, well, they're looking at me and they're judging me and, all these different things. But it was the total opposite of that. It was people were more receptive. They were wanting to speak to you.
Yeah.
And I was feeling confident enough to be able to do that. And I felt so much happier and lighter
Mm, that's great.
because I felt heavy. And I suppose at the start I felt really heavy and I suppose downtrodden and not really knowing who I was and feeling very lost and trying to find my identity again and thinking, who am I?
Mm,
Like, who is Angela? Like, you lost yourself in all the different things that you're exposed to in life, especially the work that I was in. I think that had a big factor, and then different things that happened within my family life. You just kind of lost who am I again?
yeah.
So the
Yeah.
sessions really did help to centre me, ground me, and realise that I'm enough and who I was again.
Yeah.
That
Find
confident,
that
yeah,
essence of
back
who
into
you
it.
are
Yeah.
inside. Yeah.
And having
Yeah.
that
That's
love and
lovely.
compassion for myself as well, because there was a lot of time I was hating myself. I wasn't speaking very nicely to myself. There was a lot of that, and my mental health was really poor. But at the end of it all, I was so much more confident. I had that compassion and self acceptance. It was just like a total epiphany, like light bulb moments. There was loads and loads of light bulb moments. Like, why have I been doing this to myself? And
I
I
know.
think just having you there to help me through it all, processing it, talking through it, allowing the emotions to come up and not be shamed into thinking that I shouldn't be feeling that way or, you weren't brought up that way or things, things that people
Yeah.
would say.
The
And
the messages that it's like the conditioning, isn't it, that we
yeah,
receive,
yeah,
going
it's
through
like you
life.
weren't brought up that way. Why are you acting like this? And it's like you're constantly thinking, oh, how am I meant to act? How am I meant to behave? And especially in
Yeah.
the line of work that I was in, I worked in residential childcare. So a lot of the time you had to repress how you were feeling
Mm,
to support the person that was obviously being traumatized and in crisis or whatever. But after a period of time or years of doing that, it ends up taking its toll. Like it is like, who are you? Who is Angela? I might actually
mm.
forget because I've been told don't do this, don't do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's like, no, I don't need to do any of
Yeah.
this
It's
anymore.
like
I
this
just want to be me. I
being
just want to find
contained in
myself
this
again.
in this
Aye.
box,
It's like,
especially in an environment like that, because there are rules and regulations, obviously for safety of everybody, but it's
yeah,
when you're just getting and it's a highly stressful environment to be in over
yeah,
a long period of time as well. So that, if you've got no way of, releasing or de-stressing at all from any of that because of the background that you have, it's really difficult to get into those spaces, isn't it, and learn why we're still responding that way after so many years. And
yeah.
but you just
You
can't
know,
access it.
it's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Like
Exactly.
insanity.
So
Insanity.
it's
Doing the same thing over and over again, setting a different result. And it was like, right, this has to change. Something
yeah,
has to change, and I need to do something to obviously
yeah.
you've got your own way of doing it, but coming to you definitely was, I would say, life changing. So I
Oh,
mean,
that's
it was
amazing.
quite a while ago now, but I mean, it has been since then. It just sometimes the memories come back, but they're just the power's not in them anymore.
Yeah, there's
There's
less
not anything.
emotional attachment
Aye,
to
there's no
them.
emotional
Yeah.
attachment to them. It's just
Okay.
like, why did I spend years letting that annoy me?
Same.
I've not aye, like, absolutely.
So you were kind of, the reason a lot of the things that you came to me to see is because you were really wanting to grow this business that you've got. You're stepping out, you're becoming more Angela, and there was just some things that were really blocking you, these limiting beliefs. How has that affected, your business now and how that's grown?
I think it's helped me to be more confident in what I'm doing in my practice. I mean, there's obviously room for improvement. There's always room for improvement,
Always, yeah.
but it definitely helped me to have that focus of what is it I'm trying to achieve here, who is it I'm trying to help. And I suppose it is similar people to me and the experiences that I've had.
Mm.
You can't help some. I don't know. You can help people, but I think you're better equipped if you've been through it yourself and you know how it feels, and they regulating your emotions, regulating your nervous system, that being totally stressed out and depressed and anxious to no getting out your bed, no being able to get out your bed, no get sleeping all the time, being totally depressed to going out and sitting in a cafe on your own.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
like, come on, like, that is like total when you think about polar opposites. So,
Yeah. And being able to hold space for people,
well,
like
exactly that as
with
well. Yep.
and feel not totally burnt out afterwards, which,
Yeah.
obviously that used to happen to me quite a lot as well. So if I was to ask you, kind of give you two words, one, how you felt before you started to work with me, and another word, just one to kind of sum up, the word that's changed for you, what's changed for you.
I would say the word that when I first came to you was lost,
Mhm.
lost. And at the end of it, I would say, I want to say found, but I will say confident,
Yeah,
confident.
yeah, that's great. That's really
Mhm.
great. Thank you so much for taking the time because I really appreciate it. I know you're a busy lady now. And
Thank you. Well,
and I'm
thank you.
sure
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you as well. So thank you so much.
and we'll speak again very, very soon because I need to come to one of your beautiful sound baths, definitely.
Oh, very welcome.
Okay, thanks ever such a lot, Angela. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.